this is Sapura Designs for Noble Desktop, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make a custom particle emitter in Adobe After Effects. So we're going to be using this particular effect called CC Particle World to make this bee swarm here. Let me show it to you what it looks like. So let me show you what it looks like. So you can see all these bees coming out all together, swarming out and up of this beehive. So the idea is to be able to like create clouds of particles using any shape or object that you want. We're first going to be setting up the effect to produce the swarm of bees, adjust some settings, and then go back and animate the bees themselves to add a bit more visual interest. So you can see, this is what the project looks like when it's all done. So this technique is really useful for making like a ton of animated particles, which is a huge time saver. So like rather than animate like a flock of birds, all these bees, fireworks, anything with a lot of moving small parts, just use this effect. It cuts down on time, increases flexibility, and it doesn't run your computer as ragged. So we're going to be using a couple of Illustrator files that have been set up for you already. The bee, the beehive, and this garden background. You can find the project file below in the video description. So with that, let's get started. Alright, so let me actually get rid of this because this is the finished version. We want to start from scratch. So the first thing we're going to be doing is in the project panel, you'll find the layer just called B. That's all, just called B. Let's just drop it into our layer stack like this. It makes a very big B. Now this is actually animated, so hold on one moment. There, I actually want to remove the animation because we're going to be putting that back in ourselves later on. But anyways, we have this great big B, so I'm actually going to move it a little more so we have the whole thing evident right there. And we're actually not going to be working directly on this layer just yet. It's going to come in handy later on. So what we're actually going to be doing for this swarm effect, the CC Particle World effect, head up to Layer, New, Solid. And I promise this is going to make sense in a few minutes. So let's make our solid like a nice pale yellow. And I am going to name this solid Bee Swarm. Hit OK. We have a yellow solid. So this is where we're going to head over to Effects and Presets over here and type in CC Particle. This is what we want, Particle World. And that goes on to our new Bee Swarm layer, and it disappeared. Now, don't worry, because what's going to happen is that we're going to be changing some settings, and we're going to make it look like that bee swarm before. Right now, the default's kind of like the shower of sparks, but you can already see that this is producing a lot of small particles. So let's head into the settings, and I'll go through a couple of them, really the most popular ones, and we'll show how to make this bunch of bees. All right, so let's open up Particle. See over here? So particle type, we're going to be choosing textured square. And the reason for this is that we're basically telling the program, okay, we don't want those sparks. We want the particle to look like something else, like the little bits. We want it to be a textured square. So but the program wants to know, well, what kind of texture do you want? So we're going to open up texture, texture layer. It is going to draw its texture from the bee. Now, if we move this a little over, I'm actually going to turn off visibility on our main bee. Now, it's quite small, but as you might surmise and guess, these are all bees. Great. But they're not shooting out in the way that we want, so we're going to have to do a couple more adjustments to get that look that we want. So the next thing that we're going to be doing is these bees are really tiny. So head over here, you see birth size and death size. So birth size refers to when these bees first appear on the scene, when they're first produced, how big are they going to be? And then when they're done flying around a bit, they disappear. How big are they? What is their size when they're disappearing? So I want to up both of these. I want birth size. These guys are going to come out at 1, and they're actually going to get bigger when they disappear. Alright, give my computer a few moments to process that, and I'm going to move the timeline a bit. You can see my computer's, trying to process that, but you can already see that these guys are a heck of a lot bigger. Whoa, they are giant. Alright, so size variation here refers to how homogeneous the sizes should be, or should they have some variety in them. I think when I cut that in half, I want them to be a little more homogeneous. And then let's see what else. Oh, we have max opacity. So this basically refers to like how opaque you want it to be. I want them to be 100% opaque for mine. You can see that they're not transparent anymore. Well, you'll see that in a few seconds. You know, because they're bees. I don't want them to be see-through. The next thing that I want to change here, so the colors over here. So the birth color, death color, you could probably figure it out. When they appear on the scene, they're yellow. When they finish their little lifespan, they turn red. I just want them yellow. So I'm going to move death color right over to the yellows. They're all now yellow, all the way through. It's a little, like, they're different yellows. They're not exactly the same. I didn't use the same hex code, but it's not a big deal for what I'm using it for. All right. So we're actually going to be heading up through the settings. Let's go up, up, up. Birth rate. How many bees, how many do you want to be produced all at once? It doesn't mean that there's going to be 2 bees appearing, like every second that this is going, but there's a correlation between this number and how many appear. But basically, you can figure out the bigger the birth rate, the more bees you have at the start of your animation. I just want 1. I want it to be 1. And longevity is how long do you want these bees to be on the scene? I just want it at 1. I'm not changing that. Now let's head over to physics. So the animation, the reason why it's spreading out in that cloud is because it's set to explosive. I want this to jet sideways. And the other settings you can see here, twirly, which you could probably figure out what they look like. Fire, that kind of rises up. Vortex, that's also kind of almost a swirl kind of thing. You could try these out, but for my purposes, I want jet sideways. Now, these guys. So what I am first going to start with is velocity. So velocity essentially refers to how fast these guys are coming out. I want them to be coming out fast, but not as fast as it's set to originally. I'm actually not going to play my animation till the very end, just because while this effect is better than animating like hundreds of these things, it's a bit of a heavy effect, so I just prefer to get all my settings done all at once, test it out, and then head back to the drawing board if I need to. Now, gravity refers to how strong gravity is. How much of a pull downwards does it have? How maybe gravity's real in the negatives, and this stuff is floating upwards. I am actually going to set my gravity to start with to 0.25. I'm going to set a keyframe over here. And then I'm going to move up a bit, and then I want my gravity to go up. I want them to whoosh upwards. All right. All right, we're almost done. Oh, I nearly forgot. I said I wanted to set this to jet sideways. I actually want this to be direction axis. I apologize for that. All right, finally, we're going to be going over producer. So producer refers to kind of the point at which all these particles come out of and how to position it. So sorry about that. So let's line it up with the beehive. So position Y, I've got about -10 to start with. And let's change position X. Please move over. Let's fine tune it a little bit. Line it up perfectly. Well, almost perfectly. Nothing's going to be perfect. And this... Yeah, that looks all right. That looks like what I want. I've got, for here, I've got -9 in my position Y, and I've got -0.4, sorry about that, -0.09 for Y, and -0.4, as you can see, for X. All right, with that, let's head over and actually animate these little bees. So in order to do that, we're going to double click inside the bee pre-comp. I'm actually going to do a simple animation on these guys, left wing, right wing. You see, if you don't have the anchor points at the base of the wing, you press Y and you drag the anchor points down until they are at the base of the wing, respectively. I'm just going to do a little rotation thing here. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I want, if I animate the particle, the source layer where the particle comes from, all the particles end up animated, which is, again, a very brilliant time-saving technique. Alright, I've got my animation of the bee flying, and it will update in my main comp. So let's play it. Alright, you can see that these bees are buzzing. So this technique can be combined with Gaussian blur to make a smoke effect, or it can be parented to other moving layers to create shooting effects like a cannon. The particles themselves can have more complex animations and in turn would lead into the effect itself. Snow, fire, glitter, they can all be created with this effect. So that's all for this tutorial. I hope you've enjoyed learning how to make your own custom particle emitter in Adobe After Effects. This has been Sapar Zines for Noble Desktop.